Welcome back to the Wargaming Den. Another game of Kings of War this week. Something a bit different. I've been painting up an Elven army. So this week's game, the Elves will be taking on Gordon's Kingdoms of Men. 2000 points. Scenario is Pillage. Let's have a look at my army. This is my first attempt at running an Elven army. I've taken 2 regiments of Palace Guard. Decided I wanted the maneuverability and flexibility of regiments over a horde. A troop of kindred archers. They're going to sit back and hold objectives hopefully and just plink away. A horde of sea guard, which I'm envisioning will hold the centre, and I'll try and maneuver around those. A regiment of Quicksilver Lancers, which are the Stormwind cavalry, which have been upgraded to have nimble and a higher nerve. I've got a Silver Breeze regiment, which I think are some of the best cavalry in the game. A horde of Dracon Riders, a king mounted on a horse. He's got the saber-tooth cat and the sharp blade, so hits on a 2+. I've got 2 wizards. One's got an inspiring talisman, Bane Chant and Lightning Bolt. The other's got Conjurer's Staff, Lightning Bolt and a host of Shadow Beast 6. So I've got 11 units, 20 unit strength. Let's see how they go in their first game. Let's have a look at Gordon's army. Same army he's used the last couple of games. He's got his 3 pike regiments, his 3 fanatic regiments. He's got a regiment of shield wall that are used to hold objectives if necessary. He's got 3 flying generals, which are a pain in the butt, and he's got 3 wizards. One's got the Veil of Shadows and a captain as well. And let's have a look at deployment. There's 5 objectives, 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gordon's got 1 in one corner. I've got 1 down here, so those 2 are probably pretty secure. I wanted to refuse this flank, not bother going with that objective. I wanted to capture 2 out of the 3 here and hold that one. So Sea Guard are in the centre, Palace Guard nearby wanting to grab that objective and maybe support the Sea Guard, and my cavalry coming through this way ideally. There was probably going to be flyers coming out wide from Gordon, and he's got group pike down here with some fanatics. They're able to grab that objective, potentially that one quite easily too. More pike fanatics and generals to grab that one. So I envisioned main battle to be probably around here, but we'll see how the game went. And just a quick shot down the line. So I borrowed these elves off Gordon for the battle. These are my new Sea Guard that I painted up. They're GW Lord of the Rings elves, which are some of my favourite elf rangers. Actually really like them, and I've got some of the GW Gladriheim cavalry used as Stormwind over there. And here we have a shot down Gordon's lines. Lots of pikes. They look very, very cool on the table. They're a pain in the butt to face with cavalry type units as well. So ideally I'd like to shoot them up a bit and then charge in to finish them off once I've got them wounded and more likely to fail a nerve test. That's a plan to deal with them. Whether or not it works, time will tell. Okay, I won the dice roll, but decided to go second. Decided it would give Gordon a chance to move into range of some of my shooting. He went zooming up the side here, behind the tower, so out of line of sight of my unit. Same over the side with another flying general. The rest of his army advanced, but used the hill to protect themselves, and the difficult going over here to give cover against my shooting. So I think I may have taken a wound here with the Stormwind cavalry from a wizard. Was about the only shooting. And just a close-up of how he's using the hill there as cover. And here's a shot of my first turn taken from Gordon's line. So I've just pushed forward over the wall here, king nearby, Palace Guard. The Sea Guard and the Silver Breeze have pushed forward. They've both shot at an Elven Wizard here and destroyed him, and the Stormwind and the Dracon Rider are supporting. So first blood to the Elves.
Very quick Turn 1, I took a single lightning bolt wound with my Stormwind Cavalry, and in response, my my Sea Guard here got, 6 wounds, I think, on a wizard over there, supported by the Silver Breeze, and killed him, and there was 2 wounds put on that general there. So back to Gordon's turn 2. Turn 2 humans. They've backed off a wee bit out of charge range. There's been a wee bit of shooting. A lightning bolt got my wizard for 2 points here, and lightning bolt on my Stormwind Cavalry over there. Gordon is getting his cavalry units in behind my lines.
And here you can see Gordon already being up to all kinds of mischief with his flying generals. So the general that was behind the tower flew over here. He's now looking at trying to get him behind my units. The Dracons haven't got line of sight on them at all, but I do have my anti-flying king on a horse over here. And here's a good overview of Gordon's turn 2. So he's pushed up here, still staying in the terrain for cover. Pikes have just pushed onto the top of the hill, pushing the fanatics up here. My Silver Breeze can see them though, and the other general is here. So he's already got 2 generals in behind my lines, ready to do whatever they're going to do, get him rear or flank attacks in combination with the units in the front. So Gordon's really good at working flanks like this, and I do struggle to protect myself against them.
Turn 2, I managed to do some wounds on that guy, and then double one, and I killed another wizard. I rolled a 12. So I rolled a double 6, followed by a double 1, but I'm being outmaneuvered by flyers left, right, and centre. Oh, I did some wounds over there.
So here's my response. The Stormwind are advancing, shooting with the Sea Guard. Got lucky over here and managed to kill a wizard. I think my 2 wizards with lightning bolts got lucky against him, and just pushing forward a wee bit there.
Bottom of turn 3, killed some fanatics, killed a wizard here, a bit of shooting and other stuff. It's about to get interesting on turn 4 as the flyers start making their presence felt, I would think.
I'd done a few wounds with the Silver Breeze. Gordon came charging with the fanatics, and the general did 5 wounds on them. So they held, and I've got the Dracon moving into support. In the center, the general came charging and did 4 more wounds on my Quicksilver Lancers. The other wizard came in over here to protect the flank and act as chaff, and that's the number 1 use of these flying wizards. They're a bit annoying. In my turn, the Silver Breeze and the Dracon Lord took out the fanatics. While over here, I did a few wounds on that general, but I didn't have any thunderous charge with my Quicksilver Lancers, and the Sea Guard took out that wizard who had been acting as chaff. Down the bottom here, you can see that other general. I'd failed to disorder him with the double 1 in the previous turn, so now he's actually getting in behind my lines again.
Okay, Gordon's turn 4. Very unlucky not to kill my Dracon. Rolled a 4 on my nerves unwavered. Got rid of the Silver Breeze. Got rid of the Stormwind. Moved back after the combats, and he is holding there. So he's currently holding 1, probably 2, 3 objectives, because there's an objective way over there. So my turn 4.
And this is why those 3 flying generals are so dangerous. as you can see, the general that was over here came flying in over here and hit my Quicksilver Lancers in the flank, combining to support the Fanatics. So that's 14 attacks hitting on, well, it would have been hitting on 4s, I think, because of the terrain there, but even so, and damaging probably on a 2. The other general, which was over here, came charging into the rear of the Silver Breeze, who had turned to offer their front to this general before he took off. And the third general came flying over here and hit my Drakon Lord in the rear. So, 20-inch charge ranges, 3 of them. It's all about setting them up and then hitting your opponent where he's not expecting it. And you can't cover against all eventualities, so you've just got to do your best. If you spend your whole game just maneuvering and turning to face, then you're being outmaneuvered anyway. So they are quite dangerous if you can't finish them off. And just a close-up of that action. So here comes the general in the flank there. Fanatics and Pike are trying to get some wounds on my Sea Guard and start chipping away at them. And the Silver Breeze, 21 attacks in the rear. Yeah, no, that was never going to end well for me unless Gordon rolled a double 1. And the Drakon Lord over here, again, 21 attacks, but managed, I think, to just waver me. I think I got very lucky there. And a nice overview. So here we go. Destroyed Silver Breeze, destroyed Quicksilver Lancers. Objective here is the one we're fighting over. Gordon's been holding here. He retreated the Fanatics. He was tempted to charge me, but decided against it. So he's still controlling that objective. So I'm moving him to range of this one, which will give me 2 because there's one down there that I can head back and nab. But I've got to grab this one and or this one if I'm going to win the game. And I painted these guys up last week. Wee bit of touching up still to be done, but this is my first horde of Drakon Riders. I'm very happy with how they turned out. And my response. My general came charging across here, hit the Pike unit in the flank, Palace Guard in the front. Didn't do enough wounds on them to destroy them though, which meant my Palace Guard are now going to be flanked by one of these 2 units. The Drakons and the Sea Guard both hit the Pike unit and unfortunately only wavered it. So a good turn for me, but things are definitely in the balance and we will see how turn 5 goes.
Gordon's turn 5. He killed the Drakon guy. Didn't do anything against the Sea Guard, up to 11 wounds though. Got really lucky with the Drakons. He did 9 wounds on them and then rolled a 3. Killed Palace Guard over here. So it's close. We both just need really one more token to be able to snare it.
And as you can see, Gordon took out the Palace Guard as expected. However, what he did do, which I wasn't expecting, was he advanced the other unit of Pike 5 inches forward, which meant that the Fanatics had a chance to swing round and hit them in the flank. So 30 attacks from the Fanatics, 15 from the Pike, I think it is. But it also helped protect the Fanatics from my shooting. They'd taken quite a few wounds from my Kindred archers that had been just plinking away. So I wasn't quite expecting that, but I was expecting to lose the Palace Guard. I just thought it'd be the Pike doing it. So it was a good move to try and protect the Fanatic. And here we go. So Palace Guard have been killed. Down here, the Pike unit that were wavered retreated. And the Sea Guard attacked the Fanatics, but didn't do enough wounds on them to destroy them. I think I might have been 1 or 2 short of their 15 nerve.
Bottom of turn 5. I rolled badly with my wounds actually. Got a lot of hits on that general, but only 4 wounds. Sea Guard just failed. Missed quite a few wounds against the Fanatics, so that's not good, but managed to kill the Pike there. My general killed the Fanatic over there. I did about 4 wounds on that pike unit. So turn 6, and we are still fighting over some of the objectives.
My general charge, the fanatics, they were quite badly wounded, as I said earlier, from the bow units or the archers. So he was able to destroy them through the palace guard and against the pike here. Did a few wounds, not enough to kill them, and it was really about trying to block them from getting at that objective as well, while the other pike have now contested that objective. But I did get lucky in the fact that this wizard managed to lightning bolt and destroy that pike unit there. So at the end of the turn, Gordon still got this objective, he's still got that objective, I'm preventing him getting this objective. So if the game was to end now, it would be a 3-0 to Gordon, but we've still got another turn at least to go. And again, this is an example of why those flying generals are so dangerous. Flank attack here onto the Sea Guard, 2 generals here attacking the Drakons. I got lucky, I think he only wavered the Drakons. The Sea Guard were destroyed though. As I said, I think earlier, I've managed to do a few wounds on each of those generals, but I haven't, the last 2 or 3 turns, I just haven't been able to concentrate any fire on eliminating any one of them. So my turn 6, not a lot I could do. The Drakons being wavered weren't going to do much. I moved back, contested that objective. The wizards lightning bolted and killed the pike over there, turning it into a 2-2 at the end of turn 6. Unfortunately, though, not a lot I could do against the flyers on turn 7. They killed the Drakons, and then one of them flew over, grabbed that objective. My king came charging over, did a couple of wounds, maybe not enough though to kill the king. So Gordon grabbed the game 3-2. Very, very good game though. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And there we have it. 3-2 to the Kingdoms of Men in a very close game. And there we have it. That was a great game. Thoroughly enjoyed that. My plan had always been to hold this objective and try and maybe grab these 2 or these 2. I had no interest on holding the objective that Gordon controlled down here. Didn't have enough units. I needed to focus, and I wanted to refuse this flank. Kind of worked, but not quite. But for the first game with these elves, I thoroughly enjoyed using them. Probably tweak the army a bit and see how we go, but it is still a work in progress and was really good. Probably the key, one of the keys was that the general not being disordered over here, being able to then cause all kind of mischief. But both of us had a wee bit of luck. Gordon rolled a bit underwhelmingly at times, and then I did a wee bit. So I think overall the dice rolls evened out. It came down to generalship and those flyers being able to get into the positions that Gordon wanted them to use as angles. I've really got to close those flying generals down as much as I can. They are a big threat, and when they're in the flank or the rear, they're hitting it on 14 or 21 dice. That is a lot of dice, and so 3 of them can be a real handful. Gordon, I know, is enjoying using this army because it is an army that has quite a bit of power, but you've really got to use it a bit like a scalpel. That the flying generals are critical to success, but the pikes and fanatics also can't be underestimated in their own right. So it's all about getting into positions for turn 4, 5 and 6, and on 5 and 6 especially, he was able to use his generals to finish off my units quite nicely. So he thoroughly deserved the win. I would have been happy to have pulled it back to a 2-2 draw on turn 6, but the turn 7 going to Gordon was a very fair result. So great game. As I said, thoroughly enjoyed using the Elves and look forward to another game with them soon. So thanks for watching, everyone. Ka kite anō.